Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the form 1098T. This is for tuition statement. So a form 1098T tuition statement is used to help to figure out education credit and potentially the tuition and fees deduction for qualified tuition and related expenses paid during the tax year. Tuition paying students at eligible colleges or other post-secondary institutions should receive a copy of Internal Revenue Service Form 1098T from their school each year. Eligible institutions include most colleges, universities, and vocational schools that are eligible to participate in the Department of Education's student aid programs. This form provides information about the educational expenses that may qualify the student or the student's parents or guardian if the student is still a dependent for education-related tax credits. Who gets the 1098T form? Schools must send Form 1098T to any student who paid qualified educational expenses in the preceding tax year. Qualified expenses include tuition, any fees that are required for enrollment, and course materials required for a student to be enrolled. If someone else pays such expenses on behalf of the student, like a parent, the student still gets credit for them and receives the Form 1098T. Schools must send the form to the student by January 31st and file a copy with the IRS by February 28th. Reporting qualified expenses. Education expenses reporting and the Form 1098T has been updated over the years 2017, 2018 and 2019. In 2017, schools could report a student's qualified expenses one of the two ways, based on how much the student actually paid during the year or based on how much the school billed the student during the year. Number 1. If the school reports the amount paid, it puts the figure in box 1 of the form. You can see box 1 of the form. And if it reports the amount billed, it does it so in box 2. A school generally has to use the same reporting method everywhere. If it changed its method, which requires IRS approval, it puts a check mark in box 3. The box is here primarily for the IRS information, not for the students. In 2017, also, now coming to 2018, the form was changed to reflect only amounts actually paid for qualified tuition and related expenses. Schools use box 1 to report the payments received. Box 2 is no longer used. Box 3 still provided a checkbox to indicate a change in the method of reporting from the amount billed to the amount paid method. Now in 2020, with only one method available for the current and prior years, the checkbox for changing the method is no longer needed. So box 3 is no longer used. Adjustment and scholarships. So basically we see in this form page line number 1, payments received for the qualified tuition and related expenses, and line number 2 and 3 already we have discussed. Line number 4 is adjustment made for a prior year. Now in this form shows any adjustment the school has made to qualified expenses reported on a previous year's 1098T. If it turns out a previous year's expenses were lower than initially reported, the student may be responsible for additional tax for that year. Box 5 shows the amount of scholarships and the grants they were paid directly to the school for the student's expenses. Scholarships and grants may reduce the amount of qualified expenses the student can use when calculating a credit. Now coming to box 6. Adjustment to scholarship or grants for a prior year. Shows any adjustment the school has made to scholarship and grants reported on a previous year's 1098T. These adjustments may affect the student's tax liability for the previous year, so the student may have to file an amended return. Now coming to box 7. Checked if the amount in the box 1 includes amount for an academic period beginning January-March 2022. Guys, remember this is for 2021. This is the form of 2021. So if it is for 2020, it will be January-March 2021. And schools must check box 7 if the amount in box 1 and 2 includes expenses for an academic term that begins in the first 3 months of the year following the year covered by the 1098T. Now coming to box 8, check if at least half-time student. Now coming to line number 9, check if a graduate student. And line number 10, institution contract reimbursement or refund. Box 10 of the form comes into play only in cases which students have been expenses reimbursed under a tuition insurance policy. Such policies reimburse students when they are forced to withdraw from the school for medical reasons or family emergencies, for example, after paying non-refundable tuition. When an issuer reimburses students' expenses, it must provide that student with a copy of the 1098T. The only box that gets filled in the box 10 which shows the amount reimbursed. The amount of expenses used to calculate credits generally must be reduced by an reimbursement reported here. So guys, you can see this is a form which is quite similar to other forms as well. You can see in the left side of the form there is a box for filer's name, address, filer's EIN, student's name, student's address, student team number. Also there are box from starting from 1 to 10. So these box are very important to report the form information. So guys, if we assume the payments received for qualified tuition related expenses is $1,000, and one more thing guys, there are many copies of this form, like you can see copy A for the IRS use only, copy B for students use only, and copy C for the filer. So these forms are available on IRS website. You can download these forms and fill them accordingly as per your requirement. So whatever I have discussed, I am going to show you in the software Drake. So let's assume we have payments received for qualified tuition and direct expenses $1,000, and this is for the taxpayer we have in our Drake software. So now we have to report the amount in Drake. Guys, you have to load the screen for 1098. Coming to 1098T. Okay, form 8863 and 8917, education credit and tuition and fees deduction. So guys, basically 8863 for education credit and 8917 for tuition and fees deduction. Whichever qualifies from form 1098T, you will be eligible to take either deduction or credit. Okay. You have to select from here for whom the 1098T has been issued by the filer. I have taken for the taxpayer, so I am taking his assuming he is the student. So here you have to report the student's SSN, student's first name, last name, and you have to report the amount. See, the total qualified education expenses including the cost of tuition, required enrollment fees, books, supplies and equipment that were required to be paid directly to the student educational institution. So we reported there $1,000. So guys, before also remember that you have to go through all the lines very carefully, like 2020, 23, 24, 25, 26. Has the Hope Scholarship Credit or American Opportunity Credit has been claimed for the student a total of 4 times in any prior year? If no, continue to line 4. If yes, then student does not apply for. You have to check all these lines and you have to tick accordingly. Once the student enrolled at least half time for at least one academic period that began in 2020 at an eligible educational institution in a program leading toward a post-secondary degree, certificate or other recognized post-secondary education credentials. If yes, continue to line 25. If no, the student does not qualify for AOTC. AOTC is basically we know American Opportunity Credit. So also line number 25, did the student complete the first 4 years of post secondary education before 2020? If no, continue to line 26. If yes, student does not apply. Was the student convicted before the end of the 2020 of a felony for possession or distribution of a controlled substances? If yes, the student does not qualify for AOTC. If not, choose which benefit is the most beneficial from those below. AOTC, American Opportunity Credit, taken. You have to tick which one is there and pursuing a degree, yes or no. Now, if you claim deduction, student's benefit is being claimed for the student, AOTC, LLC and student and fees deduction. Here I am selecting for student tuition and fees deduction. Also, you can report the educational institution EIN, name of the educational institution, address, and did the student receive 1090T from the institution for 2020? For our case, we report yes. For if no, then no. Also, did the student receive 1090T from the institution for 2719 with the box 7 checked? If box 7 was checked, then you have to mention that in the form. Also in the tax return. You have to go through all the in details like 8867 due diligence requirement. In addition to your notes, list any document you relied on. Additional entries for the section can be made on 8867 like 1090T, receipts, school transcripts, other everything. Now control V. See, form 8917 has been generated, and also see in schedule 1. You can see tuition and fees deduction attached on 8917, $1,000. This is for deduction purpose. And coming to 8917 form, tuition and fees deduction. Everything is there. $1,000 is also flowing here. So guys, I believe you have understood what I have discussed. So basically 1098T is the form, it is tuition statement, and it is used to figure out education credit and potentially the tuition fees deduction for qualified tuition and related expenses paid during the tax year. Okay. Goodbye.